Hi everybody, it's Keren here from tuppencecoloured.co.uk, and thank you very much for joining me today. This is the card that I'm going to be showing you today, and I'm going to be showing you how I made this background. Now the technique is called polished stone, and it's very easy, and if you stay with me I will show you how I did it. For this technique you will need glossy card. It is important that it is glossy card. Don't try using inkjet photo paper. It's not the same thing, it won't work. I know, I have tried. You will need some alcohol, rubbing alcohol, surgical spirit, whatever is available where you are. And you're going to need some re-inkers in the colours of your choice. Now I'm going to be using shades of purple, so I've got Elegant Eggplant, Fresh Fig and Perfect Plum. And I've also got a gold Sharpie marker because I think I can get some gold highlights kind of running through. I've also got a bit of dried up cleaning wipe here, and again that's not essential, but the reason why I am using it is because I'm going to be rubbing the nib of my Sharpie on the cotton wool, and I don't want to get a fuzzy Sharpie basically. Right, so I'm going to start just putting a few drops of my colours onto my ball of wool, and I have protected my hands and I have protected my work surface. Just a few, don't go mad. Make sure you put the right lid back on to the correct bottle, otherwise you're going to be an heck of a mess thereafter, aren't you? So, and last of all, the Elegant Eggplant. Just a couple of drops of this because this is a very intense colour. Okay, so now I'm going to take the top of my alcohol. And as you can see, my hands are getting messy already and I haven't even started. So that is why, guys, you protect everything. So let's give this a good dose of jolly old alcohol. And the bottle is a mess, but I will clean it afterwards. And now I'm just going to dab. And just keep dabbing. And if you don't like what you get, first of all, just keep going. Well, as you can see, when I first press down, it looks as though I'm going to have that pattern from my wipe on my card, which is okay, but it then just all blends in. And this is the beauty of this technique. You just keep working it until you get to a place you like. Just keep on going. And I think if you want some more of a particular colour, just add in a few more drops. And if you want some gold metallic, I'm just going to scribble onto my pad with my Sharpie, and I'll just add. And it is quite subtle, it's very subtle, but there is a little bit of gold veining going on there. Don't know if you can see it, I can see it. It is very subtle, but it is there. Okay, so I'm just going to keep working this until I'm happy with it, and then I'm going to make a card with it. So here are the supplies that I'm going to be using to make my card. First of all, I'm going to be using that piece of polished stone card. That's had time to dry and the colours are lovely and vibrant. And I've cut it down to 5.5 inches by 3 3/4. My card base is smoky slate and I've cut that to 5 3/4. by 8 inches, and I've scored and folded it at 4 inches to make a tent fold card. I'm using the Colourful Seasons stamps, and I'm going to use Versamark ink and gold embossing powder. I have a little piece of glimmer paper here. Now I used a couple of scraps for this. This is just an example to show you. And I'm also making use of this. Now I'm really pleased to see this back in the catalogue. This is a double-sided adhesive sheet, and that is going to make sticking down delicate die cuts so much easier. And I'm using the Seasonal Layers dies. I'm going to begin by stamping the Thinking of You sentiment onto my prepared card, and I'm using my stamp press so that I get it exactly where I want to, and I'm just lining it up where I need it. And now I'm just tapping Versamark ink onto my stamp, and I've already rubbed over the card surface with my embossing buddy to make sure that my embossing powder doesn't stick. Back up in another little wipe, and just going to press down and make sure that that ink has transferred. And yes, it has, so I'm happy with that. So now I'm just going to apply the gold embossing powder to my stamped card. I think I'll do it over my tidy tray here. Just tap off the excess. There we go. Let's put that away before I do any damage to it. And now I'm just going to bring in my heat gun, and I'm going to heat emboss this. So I'll give you some music to listen to, and we'll be back when it's done. So the next thing that I want to do is to put my double-sided adhesive sheet onto the back of the glimmer paper. Now, to make it a little bit easier to run through the big shot, or to cut out actually, I'm actually going to split the glimmer paper. Now, you don't have to do this, but it does reduce the bulk and makes it a bit easier for the dies to cut the glimmer paper out, because it's not having to go through quite such a thick layer. So just do it, slowly and carefully. Don't need that bit, I can get rid of that. And now I'm going to put my self-adhesive sheet. Now it's the side with the writing that comes away, and I'm just trying to get that started here. There you go. And I'm just going to apply that onto the back of the glimmer paper. There we go, just like that. And it doesn't matter if it's not exact. I've got most of it covered, and that's fine. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the delicate detailed leaf, and I'm going to take that over to the big shot, and I'm going to cut it out, and I'm actually going to cut out 3 of them. Here I am with the 3 leaves cut out, so I'm just going to bring back my background card, and I'm just going to decide how I want to place these onto my background card. So I'm just playing with them, just deciding which way round I want them to go, and maybe like that. Yeah, something like that, I think. Okay, so now all I have to do is to take off the backing from my leaf, and my leaf is now nice and sticky, so I'm just going to pop it down where I want it, around about there. And now I'm going to go and do the same to the other leaves, and I've got a couple of extras as well, so I may use those. So I'm going to speed this bit up. And there is the finished card, which I think looks very, very rich, and it's actually quite dramatic, and I'm very pleased with the way it came out. Just want to say before I go, if you've noticed that I'm actually doing most of this as voiceover rather than the way I usually do it, which is to record what I'm saying along with what I'm making, it's because we have the local annual air show going on right outside my window at the moment, and I was competing with the sound of the red arrows while I was making this, and the red arrows, quite frankly, were winning. But that is it for today. Do hope that you've enjoyed this video. If so, then do please come back and see me again soon. I would love to have you. But for now, thank you very much for joining me, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.